Hi there, welcome to the Beaten Trail, and in this episode we're going to cover side-by-side tracking, and we're going to do this with our DJI Mavic Air 2 drone, and this will be part one of a series. Take any old rock pile and add a drone shot of it, and it makes it look so much better. Now go ahead and get a high-speed vehicle chase traversing across the landscape, and it brings it up a further notch. But how cool would it be if you could have your drone track you in your side-by-side down the trail? Now, we actually did this, and we were really happy with how the Mavic Air can lock onto a vehicle and know that it's a vehicle. It knows the difference between a human and a vehicle, which is pretty wild. So there are some limitations. You can yaw and slide her around to one side. You can get a different view of the vehicle. It will do collision avoidance, but there are some limitations, and one being overexposure. You can actually lose the target, but overall we were happy with what we were seeing so far. So we took her to Darkwater, and we picked the low-lying areas where there weren't too many trees, and we put her at altitude, and we just followed the trail around. Now I'm driving, but we're not controlling the drone. You can control the altitude, and as I had said, you can slide her around to a different angle, and she'll stay locked on the vehicle. And at a certain altitude, you probably would lose visual, and she only has so much distance she can lock on until the item is, too small in the viewfinder for her sensors. But she does have forward sensors. She does not have side sensors, and unfortunately, we learned this the hard way. So as we went up the hill, we made this turn. And the shot was looking really awesome. It was great. And we thought we had enough altitude to clear the trees along the main road. As we kept flying, it looked even better and better until suddenly we realized that last tree, we were going to go right into it. So thankfully, she didn't fall out of the sky. She just got bumped around a little bit by a small branch on that tree. But we have to remember, no more side flight, and we will disable it in the settings. So we brought her down for some damage assessment, and thankfully it was only a cracked prop, and she was on her way flying again. We were able to track her down around the crane on the main road, and it was very smooth, and we were very happy with how this video came out. We're going to do more work on obstacle avoidance and collision avoidance, because obviously we need to work on that. But she will have limitations. We're going to continue a series on doing this tracking in the weeks ahead. So over at Burma, we're going to track Paul with his Can-Am, and we're going to give it a shot on this windy day, a little bit of snow. She's able to lock on to the vehicle. She knows it's a vehicle. And I told Paul, just drive around slowly and then make a turn, because we have this in cinematic mode. She's not in sport mode. We're going to learn that, really for tracking side-by-sides, we're going to have to be in sport mode. If you notice the attitude indicator here, she is all over the place when it comes to the wind. But the camera shot is stable, and the angle's great, and you don't see much shaking around at all. So she got out there, and as we were able to get closer, we saw that, Paul's going to make the turn, and she's still keeping the target focused, but unfortunately not fast enough in cinematic mode, and when he drives underneath, she loses lock on the target. We're going to give it another shot. We lock on the target again, and it's going to be Activetrack and parallel, and this is going to keep the target to the side, or the drone to the side of the target, and in this case, she will be in front of the target. It'll give us a slightly different angle. This is the same location, obviously, but a different view. And she's doing a good job. Again, notice the attitude indicator. She's flying hard to keep that vehicle in her sights. Paul goes down below, and as he goes off in the distance, she will eventually lose lock if we just keep going. But we thought it was an excellent test, and she's able to lock onto the vehicle and follow at a pretty decent speed. Here's Nathan on his new 300. We're going to do an episode on his bike as well and all the riding. We decided to do some tracking with him. It's a smaller vehicle. looks a little different, but she did a great job as well. And here we're over at the incline, and he's going to go up the hill, and we're going to see how far we can track him. As he approaches, there are some trees. We only set a low altitude, so we're going to see how it goes. And unfortunately, you know, she almost hits a tree, and then she stops because the obstacle is the next tree and the hill. So we know that we're going to have to work on that. But flying at a higher altitude, we can get visual and some pretty awesome shots. We just have to work on the lock-on, and it's a smaller vehicle. We'll do more testing on this, but we had fun doing some preliminary riding. Mark helped us out as well, just to see if maybe a different color jacket or clothing on the same vehicle would make a difference, and it didn't. She followed him around in circles and jumps and wheelies and everywhere, so we were happy with this. The drone footage really gives a different scale to anything that you're shooting. Now, to be able to follow your drone or lead the drone and get this shot is really going to make just a world of difference when it comes to the quality and the level of your filming. So we're going to do some more testing on this, and she is up for the challenge. We're going to try to do some lower level, closer following on trails and see how she does. Now, unfortunately, a lot of trails here at Darkwater do have branches on the side, but we're going to work on that. So thanks again for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel, like, share it on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and we're on Twitter as well. And we hope to see you out there on the trail. Thanks for watching.